Hello and good day, everyone. Your host here, Paul Lawrence Fan. Leadership is influence. That's really what I'm all about. It's my mantra, and I'm known as Mr. Leadership is Influence. It had an impactful impact on my life, and I also know it will have one on you as well because we are all leaders in our own right, no matter what title we have as an employee, as a manager, and as the person so designated as the leader with the title. So glad that you could be with me today. And again, thank you so much for all of your support, viewing my videos, as well as your likes, and then the viewer hours, and then the subscribers. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and I thank you so much for it. I also want to share now that I'm willing to provide you with a free consultation. You can see it here where my name is located, and you'll be able to see the little link, the bit.ly link there that will assist you in scheduling a free 30-minute consultation with me. I'll be glad to entertain any questions that you may have, any recommendations that you may have. And if you have an organization you work with and you want to bring in a leadership development expert, I really would want you to give me consideration to assist you with that process. And what I'm going to talk about today is going to be in the line of one of my favorite topics, which is developing others through coaching. I believe that coaching is important for everyone. You know, some of the most successful people in the entire world have a coach. And they have a coach because a coach can get in and they can help work with an individual and our organization and help them to perform better than they are today. And we all want to be better at something. I've had coaches throughout the course of my professional career and my life, of course, as an entrepreneur. And I believe that it will also be beneficial to you, especially as it pertains to leadership and how do you become a better leader and a leader of influence being the ultimate goal. So I want to give you a behind the scenes look at what this particular subject is. It's a workshop, and in this particular block is one of eight. And so there's seven others beside this, but this is one of my favorite to deliver, developing other leaders through coaching. And the length of time for this particular program session would be about 3.5 hours with there no breaks. So let's say if I came in at 9, it will end at about lunchtime, noontime, or if it's after lunch, starting at 1, it will end about 4:30. And so I could also use the Zoom for the platform to use for virtual, or I can either go with a shorter segment as well. And then I can have a combination of videos, assessment tools. It can be added for even longer programs. But this is kind of what I do. I can do it in person on the site of the employer, and or I can do it from a virtual platform as well. And this does fall under the title of Talent Development Program for Leaders. And it's most effective when it's combined with the other 7 modules to create a talent development leadership program. And if you ask, okay, Paul, what is the number of people that you would have in a given workshop? I would say in the neighborhood of between 20 to 25 max in the program, and that will help develop other leaders along the way. And so what happens is there'll be some pre-work and then post-work as it pertains to this particular leadership development workshop. And some would consist of books, some articles, book summaries can also be helpful to help the framework for the workshop. And some recommended items to include in this particular session, which could be something similar to Now Discover Your Strengths by a person I've known for a number of years, Marcus Buckingham and Donald Clifton, and also a leader as a coach. And that's by David Peterson and Mary Hicks. And so I would bring some of that information in as a part of this session as well. And other things to consider is I would provide and build pre and post skill surveys for the program. And so I include that with each of the leadership development modules that I have. And then I would also identify a company executive to kick off the program, because that's always important to have, that know that someone is supporting the efforts, and they are in effect, by bringing me in, they would be actually developing other leaders. So they would be a leader, considered a leader of influence, because he's trying to help increase the knowledge, the skills, ability that everyone has surrounding leadership, because it impacts everyone at every job title that is in an organization, or even if it's for a team for special projects. And also, I would discuss how much time would be involved in this, and I would review this with them appropriately, so that everyone would know how the program is set up, it's designed, and how it will flow. I would also send out a welcome message to all the participants to introduce myself as facilitator and provide a high-level overview of the agenda and what people will be learning. And I have all of this material in the module itself. And then I would talk about some coaching tips, because that's always very important to have those coaching tips. I've received a lot of them myself over the years, and I think it's something that would help you as well. And then I'll also look at reading some books or book summaries that I assigned for all the pre-work to the learners, because it's very important to be able to gather some key insights from the books to help reference in the class that ties to the program that's being discussed. And then I would provide some personal examples of coaching and how it made a positive impact on my growth and development. And they would include both personal or work-related. And again, we're looking at work-life balance. I need it, you need it, we all need it, the organization needs it. And because we don't need overwhelm. And then I would also look at discussing relevant and newsworthy coaching initiatives in larger companies as examples, of which I have many that I've learned through the host that I have for my programs. And then I have printed participant workbooks at tables and have them sent electronically, so everyone will receive the lesson plan and then everything that's going to be covered. And then I would also take it a step further. If I'm in person, I would have some flip charts, some markers, name tents, sticky notes, pens, and tape. And for the different tables, it's appropriate for everyone in that 20 to 25 people who would be participating. And it doesn't have to be 20 to 25. It could be 10 to 15 or 7 to 10. But that's at least the maximum. I'm looking at 20 to 25. And then, of course, I would gather some statistics about coaching successes that I want to reference. And there are so many of them, but that would be unique to your organization. And then I would look at some optional modules to include in the modules, such as some videos. One, for example, could be about Herb Brooks, his speech. He, of course, coached the 1980 Olympic hockey team, Russia versus the US, the Miracle on Ice. And that's always a really good one. And that's something that we can look at. And then what is personal development? Because in the end, that's really what this is all about, is how to develop you more specifically as a leader. And then coaching with a great mindset by Simon Sinek is also would be a wonderful video to see, because it just provides so much insight. And that's definitely something that you want to do. And most importantly, as a facilitator, some of the things I would do, I would always, guess because I was in the military, stay on time. But I learned this from my parents, because they wouldn't have it me getting somewhere late where they needed me to be, especially as a 10-year-old working in a family community grocery store. So being on time, and we want to stay on message, stay on topic, and look at using the goals section to connect ideas together to achieve the learning objectives, of course. And the wisdom is, of course, in the debrief. This is when we cover items. There will be so many things that you will learn that are new, but it's not so much where it's overwhelmed, but it's more so, I never thought about that. And so then you're starting to learn and you're acquiring more knowledge. And that's what learning really is all about, acquiring more knowledge. And even to this day, and I have extensive background academically with advanced degrees, but I continue to learn and I want to learn. I have a thirst for knowledge is the word that I'll use and share with you. And then building connections through the transition section, flowing from one topic to the other. And that's something that's always good. And so some of the things to look at is the stay on track, prepare. I have some quick references for you and things that you look for in the workbook that you will receive. And then looking at the goals and learning and explaining what each section is all about and why it's important. And so that's really what I would cover in a normal, and this just happens to be one of 8 modules that I have for the leadership development program and developing other leaders through coaching. And it would behoove you to talk to your supervisor, your manager, or the leader of your organization or company and have them come in. And the goal, one of the major goals, is to have a standardized program, training and development program. Because if you bring me in or you bring someone else in, they're receiving different information. But when you have it across the board, let's say the first 10 to 15 people or the 20 to 25 people, or it could be the entire organization. It could be at the headquarters, it could be at the district office, it could be at the local office where you all reside or have employees and managers and then leaders at those levels. So it's very important, but this one is all about developing other leaders through coaching. And it's very important that people learn how to coach and then set up peer-to-peer groups. That's very important as a part of coaching as well. And it's something that I believe that can really help you to grow in that process. And one of the things that I also look at is, for example, if we look at the developing other leaders through coaching, the workshop summary, here's a quote, and it states that more than 60% of employees who report to managers who are not good coaches are thinking and quitting. So if you're in a position, in a management or leadership position, and employees state that they're not good coaches, they want to go somewhere else, and they are thinking about leaving, and we can't afford to lose good employees in this particular workforce because it's very competitive, and people have more choices than they did prior to the pandemic taking place. And so some of the things to consider is effective coaching is an essential skill all leaders need to embrace and strengthen. Coaching, of course, helps employees to develop skills, improve their confidence, which is very important, and up-level thinking. It can motivate employees to perform at their highest level by helping others to discover their strength, align to their goals that matter to them, and then create some possibilities for future success and encouraging small action steps. We oftentimes don't learn when we're just overwhelmed with material or information, but if we gradually provide this information to people, they get it. I get it, you get it. And of course, the workshop will help leaders understand the difference between managing and coaching and the benefits that coaching provides to the individual, the team, and the company itself. So we're looking at it from a holistic perspective, where not just one person has information, they hold on to it tight, but everyone is receiving the same thing. So you have different perspectives because you have different point of views, and yet it's the same information, but it's how it's interpreted what makes the difference. And leaders will be able to learn how to identify and leverage coaching moments and practice a powerful coaching dialogue process. And being able to have that open communication with employees is paramount to organizational success. And so it's very important that leaders, managers, and employees, because remember, my favorite thing is the three-legged stool with the leader with the title. For example, it could be the president, the CEO, executive director, then the managers, the people who really help negotiate and facilitate the workflow of the employees. And then the people who are actually getting the work done are the employees themselves. And all of them, I mean, all of them are in a leadership position, even though the manager and the employees don't have the ultimate title. They're still leaders in their own right because of the work that they perform and they conduct as a part of increasing the business performance. So some of the things also to consider is by using appreciative questioning, leaders will increase the motivation to positive and lasting change in performance and the all-important behavior. One of the key jobs and duties of a leader is to be able to influence the behavior of the managers and the employees in a positive way. And that's what good leaders do. They influence from a positive and showing appreciation to the managers and the employees because it makes for a strong organization. And then leaders will also learn how to facilitate peer-to-peer coaching circles on their team and steer clear of common coaching mistakes. And you can make a few mistakes in coaching. And one of them is trying to drive the content or drive people from a standpoint of you either do this or you leave, or they are embarrassing their employees in front of their peers and calling them on the carpet, and they never can do anything right. You don't want that type of environment. I didn't even have that type of environment in the military. I served for over 22 years. And first of all, I wouldn't put up with it. I'd be like, I think we can communicate on a higher level than this, sir or ma'am. And so we want to be respected, and we don't want to be a part of a toxic workplace environment. That's most of what I'm saying. Just kidding about that. I never said it. I've went through some tough times, but it's like water on a duck's back. I'll just keep on going because I knew what my goals were. And the coaching program equips leaders with coaching tools that empower and encourage employees to develop new skills and behaviors and make positive change for the future and demonstrate a commitment to employee growth. And that's very important, that people, if they really enjoy and appreciate the company they work for, they don't want to leave, but we have to be able to give them something to keep them there. We have to give them some upward mobility, some progression. We have to give them opportunities such as attending leadership development programs. And we have to position them to lead and also attend some of the leadership training programs that are out there. So the learning objectives, and I'm going to share those with you, is to understand the difference between managing and coaching. And there is a significant difference. As one of my leadership school guest speakers that came in, Admiral Hooper, she stated that we manage things and resources, and we lead people. She's stating from the Navy perspective, because she was an admiral, that we've done way too much managing and not enough leading. And so what that tells us is that this coaching is part of leadership, whereas management is more, it can get to be micromanaging, which is what we don't want, but rather we would have more coaching as a part of the leadership. And then another objective is to learn the benefits of using coaches as a development tool. So we prepare and groom potential and prospective employees to become managers and ultimately one day as a leader. And then another objective is to understand the attributes of a successful coach and assess your strengths and opportunities, identify ways to build a strong coaching relationship with your employees, then learn how to recognize coaching moments and engage as a powerful coaching dialogue, and practice strategies for leading peer-to-peer coaching circles. You just cannot go wrong with coaching because, again, if we look at some of the best leaders in this country, let's use an example of someone like Warren Buffett. And Warren Buffett, of course, started very young in his investing at the age of 17, and I believe his father gave him some money and he taught him how to invest. And then he dug a lot deeper into understanding exactly what it was, but he was performing leadership even with that, because one has to lead their own life, correct? Yes. Thank you for agreeing. we have to lead our own life. And as a part of his, it was becoming an astute investor. So he was going through leadership his entire time, collaborating with other people, uh, coming in with different teams, and now today with um, Berkshire Hathaway, and looking at the different investment platform they have with people all over the world. So developing others through coaching is very important part of the leadership process. And it's something I believe that you can use. Again, if you want to have a free 30-minute consultation, I have this bit.ly link here, and it's directly beside my name, and feel free to sign up and we'll schedule a session together, and I look forward to talking to you about it. And or if you have other questions pertaining to this YouTube channel, Leadership is Influence, with me, your host, Paul Laurence Vann, I'd love to connect with you. And I would love to also continue to request that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and recommend it to your friends, your family, and your colleagues. And one can never go wrong. And you want to give yourself and your company a competitive advantage through becoming a better leader, an employee leader, a management leader, and a leader with a title. A leader with a title can become a better leader as well. Just because they have that title as a leader, they can get better. I know this because I work for members of Congress, and I work with people in embassies, and I work with people, general officers in the Pentagon. And when I worked for Mobil Oil Company, working with the leadership staff as a plant manager, the regional manager, and the CEO. So I've met people at all different levels, millionaires, billionaires, you name it. I've met them all. And for all of them, it was all a leadership experience. And we all have a leadership journey. And I want you to become a better leader and ultimately a leader of influence. So thank you so much. And I really appreciate you tuning in for this particular episode, which focuses on developing others through coaching, which is a very important aspect of leadership. Let me know what you think. I would love your feedback. And also go down to the comments section and leave some comments. I'll be glad to entertain them. And I really appreciate you again. This channel, YouTube channel that I'm leading, Leadership is Influence, we're gaining more and more subscribers by the day. The watch hours continue to increase. The likes continue to increase. And it would not be possible without you. So thank you very much. And I honor you and I appreciate you for all of your support. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next video that I provide to you. Have a great day.